Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back or welcome to the channel if it is your first visit here. Today we are looking at Mortal Kombat. Brand new game on its way out. And today we're sort of deep diving, just thoughts. We know very little about it, but we're going to talk about what we do know. And we're going to find out, sort of, whether this will be a flawless victory or a fatality. So Mortal Kombat is a legendary franchise. I remember playing the very first one in the arcades all the way back in 1992, because I am old, yes. And I loved it. I loved it from the very start. Now this is a reboot, so Ed Boon has said, from the Fire God Liu Kang's kind of a new, I don't know, maybe it's a new world he's created, I think. So there's going to be a whole different story. He says that the characters are going to be different. He's essentially saying, forget what you know about them for this game, because everything we know has changed, possibly. And there was a lot of talk about this whole cameo fighters and whether they'd work similar to like what you get on Smash Brothers, where they wouldn't be playable on the main roster, but they would appear for assist moves. And there was a lot of panic, especially with Uncaged Games, who's a great YouTuber. Go check him out, does a lot of Mortal Kombat stuff. And he was worried that Johnny Cage would just be a cameo fighter and not playable. But there's kind of a funny thing there, because Johnny Cage, from what we've read on the text, is confirmed as a playable character. And why wouldn't he be? But there also seems to be a Jean-Claude Van Damme skin for him. But Johnny Cage is also now listed as a cameo fighter. So what does this mean? Are some cameo fighters going to be playable? Or are they going to be released later as DLC to be playable? I mean, I hope they are just playable, but we've had assist characters in lots of games, not just Smash Brothers, but also Pokken as well. If you remember Pokken, there was a few assist characters that weren't necessarily playable. But with Mortal Kombat, it's strange because it's kind of like the more the merrier. What the interesting part of everything that we've seen so far is the leaked DLC rumours or the DLC confirmations, where they're more or less all guest characters. So, I mean, that's going to be interesting, but a lot of people don't like guest characters, or they don't like when there's far too many guest characters, because it doesn't feel like a Mortal Kombat game. You know, it kind of feels like a celebrity deathmatch kind of situation here. I mean, having the Terminator in Mortal Kombat was fine. The voice acting for him wasn't great. He wasn't like the best Arnie voice. Having RoboCop was cool. Having them in the same game was good, but then when you think about having RoboCop versus Terminator, the last thing you think of where it would happen would be a Mortal Kombat game. So it'd be interesting to see with all these new guest characters, and by the looks of it, it's like we're going to be able to play as John Cena in Mortal Kombat. But if you've not seen the DLC rumours, here's a list. There. Look at them. That's enough. Would you play as any of those? I'm just wondering what their fatalities are going to be like. I think that should be interesting, but if you're getting more excited about the guest characters rather than the game in general, I think that's maybe a bad-ish move, because we know very little about the initial main Mortal Kombat roster. We can assume that because it's a retelling of the story from a different point of view, you're going to get the more well-known legendary characters. You're going to get, obviously, Liu Kang's in it, Fire God Liu Kang. We know Raiden's in it. We know Scorpion, Sub-Zero are in it. Will Kano be in it? We don't know. We don't exactly know when this is taking place. The original rumours for this game, when it was just Mortal Kombat 12, before it was revealed as Mortal Kombat 1, was it's going to be to do with the Great Kung Lao. Maybe it is. I think we did see him on the trailer. I don't know. I can't show the trailer. Very few people can show the trailer because they're just getting copyright strikes. I don't want any more. I've had a fair few on this channel. I don't want any more. Well, there were claims, not strikes, luckily. But so, and by the actual graphics that you could see in the trailer, very, very cinematic. Probably the best Mortal Kombat is going to look. The only thing I'm disappointed about is, well, not disappointed, just confused, is the fact that it's not coming out on the last gen consoles, like your PS4s and whatnot. But it is coming out on the Nintendo Switch, which doesn't really make sense because the last Mortal Kombat game to come out on the Switch didn't run very well. Like, it ran okay, but why would they prioritise putting something massively downgraded on a Switch and not on the PS4? I don't know. That doesn't really make much sense to me. Hopefully we find out more details soon, because I don't want to feel like I've just clickbaited everyone here. Will this fail or not? We don't know at the moment, and there's going to be a lot of people that think they've got this foregone conclusion on whether this game will be good or not, and I don't know. I'm probably not going to play it until I end up getting a PS5 anyway. Don't know when that'll be. But I am really looking forward to seeing the upcoming information. Hopefully Ed Boon will give some more information. It sounds like he will, because the game's coming out in September, and I know there's a beta coming out for people to try in August. So we'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully this will be good, because I think this is a bit of a gamble. And I also heard somewhere, and I don't know whether this is true or not, because there's going to be a lot of fake leaks around, but the whole cameo fighter situation, going back to that, apparently only affects the campaign mode, or the story mode, or conquest. It's something like that. Which, if that's the case, then that's fine. And then the rest should be just in the default roster. But is this going to be a big roster, or a smaller one that they just grow over a load of DLC? I mean, what would you prefer? Would you prefer an initial big roster with a few characters DLC, or a smaller roster where they charge you a ridiculous amount to basically buy the rest of the game? Which is what they're doing. Some companies are getting massively lazy with this. Just put it all in. That sounds rude. But anyway, so I'm hoping, character-wise, I'm hoping Reptile's in, because I've always been fond of Reptile, mostly because he was the first character playing Mortal Kombat 2 that I learned the fatalities for. So I kind of mained him for a while. And I don't know, I just think Reptile's kind of an underrated character. I don't understand why Ermac's DLC. He should just be in the game, because he's had an important role in the rest of the games, but I don't know. I don't want to ramble too long. I'm sure when more information comes out, I will speak more on this, possibly, if anyone cares. But for now, anyway, thanks for watching this. Leave your thoughts about the new Mortal Kombat game down below. What do you think what do you think of what you've seen? None of that makes sense. What do you think of what you've heard so far? Let me know. And we'll just have to wait for more information. Till then, I will see you, not literally, in the next video. Hit that subscribe if you want, no obligation. And I will see you, blah, blah, blah. I already said that, not literally. Goodbye for now. Bye, little dude. Oh, and also, there's probably, if I just scoot over here a bit, there's videos there, I think. Videos there, have a look. Have a look at them. There they are, over there. Pick one of those.